Welcome to the session 4 of Unit 4. Here we are going to look at market equilibrium just as we looked at market equilibrium in session 3. Here we are going to look at numerical example. And you have to remember that we informed you in Unit 1 that economics is not a spectator sport. You can't learn just from observation. You have to work at it. And when you are finished reading and showing graphical and algebraically market equilibrium, you need to work on specific numerical examples. That is why this session has been designed to reinforce your understanding of the sessions we have looked at, that is session 2 and 3 in this particular unit. Alright, so you can take your calculator to cross check all the calculations we are going to do here. Okay, so make sure your calculator is with you. And we saw one or two questions. Alright, so let's get started. Now, I will ask you to solve for the equilibrium. So let me start. Let's get into the slide. At the end of the session, you should be able to solve for the equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price given the particular demand and supply equation. I would like us to solve this question. Take your jotter. Let's get started. Write the question down. We want to find the equilibrium price and quantity of the given equation. So assume we have for one I. We are going to solve only two questions here, and then the session will come to an end. You can solve more questions using your model, your textbook. So assuming my quantity demand that I give you is QD is 35 minus 8p, and I give you quantity supply as 5 plus 2p. Find the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. How are we going to do it? Remember, we said that the equilibrium condition is that quantity demanded should be equal to quantity supply. As simple as that. So here we will say 35 minus 8p will be equal to what? 5 plus 2p. We can group the p's and group the constant, as the 35 and the what? 5. So I'll bring 35 here. When the 5 here crosses the equal sign, it becomes minus. So I have 35 minus 5. Then I'll bring the 2p, and I'll rather bring the 8p here. When the 8p crosses the equal sign, the minus change to what? Positives. I'll have what? Plus what? 8p. I'll end up having 30 equal to what? 10p. Now I want to make the subject, so what do? We say divide both sides by 10, so that the 10, the coefficient of p being 10 will cancel itself. 10 goes into 30 3 times, so I have p is equal to 3. The moment we have our equilibrium price, we can put it into any of the equations for the demand or the supply, and we'll get the equilibrium quantity. So this is the equilibrium price. So since at equilibrium the demand can be equal to the supply, quantity demand can be equal to quantity supply, you can use any of the equations. So I assume I want to use quantity supplied because it looks simple. I'll say QS will now be equal to 5 plus 2 times the P here is now what? 3. So board mass or paired mass, it will be 5 plus what? 2 times 3 is 6. Alright. And 5 plus 6 is what? 11. So I have quantity to be what? 11. Let's use a demand also to see if it will be the same. Now QD, I'll have 35 minus 8 times what? 3. 8 times 3 is what? 8 times 3, use your calculator, I think it is 24. Because 3 7 is 21, then 3 8 is 24. 35 minus 24 will also give me what? 11. So we see that they are the same. So the equilibrium quantity will be what? 11, and the equilibrium price will be what? 3. Now assume I give you another question, that is II. Here the quantity demand function is 10 minus 2p, and the QS I'll give you as 4 plus 4p. Try and solve this. Let's do it together. At equilibrium, QD is equal to what? QS. So 10 minus 2p is equal to 4 plus what? 4p. Our group like terms are of 10 minus 4, 4p plus what? 2p. So 10 minus 4, I get 6. 4p plus 2p. If you have 4 oranges and add 2 oranges to it, you have what? 6 oranges. So I have 6p. Now, because I want to make p the subject, I'll divide both sides by the coefficient of p, which is 6. So divide both sides by 6. 6 cancels itself 1. So here it means that p is equal to 1. So assuming it's in Ghana cedi, I'll say p is what? 1 Ghana cedi, and that is the equilibrium price. Having found the equilibrium price, I can put it in any of the equations. So I will choose, say, QD. So I'll have 10 minus 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So I have 10 minus 2, which is what? 8. So my equilibrium quantity is 8. I could equally use the supply function, which is 4 plus 4p. So it will be 4 plus 4 times 1. And 4 times 1 is 4. So I have 4 plus 4, which will give me what? 8. So we see that the quantities are the same. And so we have used numbers to understand what we did using algebraic analysis for the session 3. Now we have used numbers to understand the equilibrium, market, price, and quantity. That will bring us to the end of this session. In session 5, we will talk about when the government imposed tax, how are we going to adjust this thing, and when the government imposes subsidy, what is going to happen. So see you in session 5, because you have to also understand that questions are going to come in full. We may bring you government imposing tax or subsidy. How would that affect the market equilibrium? Until then, I will say thank you.